Okay. It is 10:40 p.m. August 20th, and we are coming very close to episode 100. I know. 100 episodes. Well, that's amazing. But in all seriousness, as we get closer to episode 100, I have questions for y'all. Like, what should I do for episode 100? Should it just be a regular episode and we just go, hey, thanks for getting us to 100? Or should we do something most spectacularly special? Let us know. Send us emails, messages, whatever. DM me. Alright. Now on to the episode. Welcome to Imaginary Ramblings. I'm Matt.
And I'm Ben.
And this is All That Glitters is Midnight Kiss.
Mm-hmm. It was very glittery.
Oh, yeah. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the Hulu Into the Dark film, Midnight Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we will have another tale of dice and pixels.
Oh, yeah.
But before that, Yo, Benjamin.
Yes, sir.
What have you been into?
Lately, it's been a lot of Fall Guys, because it was one of the free games this month for PS Plus, and it is super fun.
What do you do in this game?
If you're familiar with MXC, the Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, or I guess its American version, Wipeout, which wasn't nearly as good. You're this little, like, bean-shaped character, or pill-shaped character, I guess. And you got different costumes and stuff. And there's just all kinds of different races or team games that you're participating in, trying to be the final person at the end. If you have PS Plus, it's a free game, so I would definitely recommend it. If nothing else, it's free, so why not?
Can't be free. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
I guess I could pay you to do it, so you can beat free. Never mind.
Like, there's fun costumes and stuff, and like if you want to pay money to support the devs and everything, there's like some DLC costumes that you can spend and get. But like all the in-game currency, I mean, you can just get it, so it's not like you can play, and you're not like getting anything in the DLC that's like gonna give you an advantage. Like there's no advantage to being a coffee can or to being a box of fries or being like a hamburger. Like it's just funny.
I don't know. I think it could intimidate the other players. Oh,
that's
shit.
True.
That guy's a hamburger.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, it sounds like something I'd like to try. Does it have 2-player local play?
I'm not sure about local play, but you can definitely play with other people.
Yeah.
You can. It's the thing is though, for the most part, the game is like a solo game. You're not necessarily like there's a couple team games, but for the most part, you really are just like playing by yourself. You're trying to win.
I gotcha. I was just saying that because like Locke would probably want to play with me.
Oh yeah, he definitely could, and he'll definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like a simple game too. Like there's there's jumping, there's diving, and there's grabbing, and like those are the only real controls.
Gotcha.
That's not to say it can't get frustrating, obviously, but like it's super fun. Like, and everything is so quick. I don't find myself getting nearly as like tilted as say in like other like competitive or battle royale style games.
Well, that's good. That's it's not as frustrating as all that.
Yes. I think partly just because it's so quick, too, is why it's not frustrating. Some of these games, it takes so long to load, and it takes so long to get you in a good spot, whereas, like, everyone's already kind of at the same level, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And also, like, it, that's what really killed. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. That's what really killed Fortnite for me. Was just like, if you got killed while like in the top like 100 or what, if you were like number 2 or 3 that was killed in the game, you just literally wasted about like 10 minutes of your life for 2 minutes of gameplay.
Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like, oh, so I was in queue to start a game, and then the game finally started, and I just wasted all that time for some guy to come around a corner with a shotgun 2 seconds into the match.
Right. Or, in those games, too, like, you fall down wherever, and you loot all the boxes, and you got all white weapons. Nothing you can do about that, just all the most common weapons. And then, someone right next to you open up their stuff, and they got, like, all purples or whatever. Like,
they opened one box and got an orange.
Yeah, right.
Right out the get-go.
So it's like, it's not to say that your yellow or your white weapons couldn't kill that guy with the orange gun, but it's still like, he still has, like, an unfair advantage just because of random chance.
Yeah, I hear that. I don't know if I ever... no, I must have looted at least one orange item, but I feel like I only ever got oranges when I successfully killed somebody.
Right, yeah, or my team did, and they already had orange weapons too, so they just let me have it.
They're like, here you go, you're pathetic. That's why I don't play Fortnite.
I just don't really like the Battle Royale style games. I know they're really popular right now, a lot of people do like them, but I don't know if it's that I don't have the skill or the patience. It might be a little bit of both.
See, I'm OG Battle Royale. I'm
Yeah.
OG. Yeah. Do you know what that means?
No. Are you talking like GoldenEye?
No.
Sometimes it feels like a Battle Royale in that game.
I'm talking about freaking Minecraft Hunger Games.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what Fortnite and all this shit's based off of. is Minecraft Hunger Games. Yeah. Everyone's like, Fortnite's so original. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a ripoff of a Minecraft mod, you fuckers.
Also, wasn't there another one like HZ or whatever that one was called? It was like H1 or something.
Yeah. There's oh shoot,
it was a bunch of letters.
Yeah, it was something. I don't know.
It was like HZ1 or something like, or I don't know.
Oh, you mean H1Z1?
Yeah, I was like,
that wasn't a battle. H1Z1 wasn't a battle royale. Which came first, Fortnite or PUBG?
Oh, I think PUBG did.
Yeah, so PUBG ripped off Minecraft Hunger Games, and then Fortnite ripped off PUBG, and then everyone else ripped off Fortnite because it was the most successful.
Yeah, sure. I could have sworn that the one I was just talking about was
It might have added it eventually, but it started out as basically like a shoot. Oh man. Now this is gonna bother me, but there was a zombie game that was a mod of like a very realistic first-person shooter.
Oh, okay.
And it was like a mod that was made in like Russia.
Okay.
And it was basically like Rust with zombies.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't like Rust because there was no crafting really. It was all just like you run. Now it has the same mechanics as like PUBG and Fortnite and stuff, where you run around and loot.
Yeah.
But this was like you're just in a world, and the world is persistent. The only thing is it's it's like, it's permadeath. Not really permadeath, but it's like you just restart at 0 if you die.
Mm-hmm.
And you can like maybe find your stuff, but it's probably already been looted and stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
But the world was persistent in those games. Unlike in like Fortnite and stuff. And the world never shrunk or anything like that. Yeah, so
okay.
it did borrow a lot of those mechanics, but like I said, the actual like this is just a match to first place. That was totally Minecraft Hunger Games.
Oh, that's funny.
And I think even at some point, Minecraft Hunger Games added in like some sort of like thing that helped quicken the end game, because that's really the only mechanic that PUBG. I think PUBG has it. I don't remember for sure, but I know Fortnite has it, where the map shrinks.
Yeah. I think PUBG has it too.
Yeah, because originally Minecraft Hunger Games didn't have that, and so like the last 2 players would take for fucking ever.
Oh yeah, sure.
But I know they added like some mechanics to quicken that, and I don't remember what they were. But yeah, and it might have even been the same mechanic of shrinking the map, but I don't remember for sure, because I kind of fell off Minecraft right when that stuff was getting real big.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe when it was dying. I don't know. I'm not hip. I'm almost a middle-aged man.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Me, since you didn't ask.
I'm sorry. It's just because we kept getting sidetracked.
Yeah, no worries. I've not really, like, I've been doing some, like, projects and stuff, but nothing I want to report on quite yet.
Uh-huh.
But I'm really excited about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I am getting The Living Dead, which is a novel that was started by George Romero before he died, and finished after his death, and finally is coming out. And I've like heard tales of this novel for like years, because I think Romero died in 2016.
That sounds right.
And I've been hearing like rumors, like at one point his son was talking about making a movie that was going to be like Romero's omnibus.
Oh, really? That'd be cool.
Yeah, and then there was like talks of a graphic novel, and none of those ever like came to fruition that I know of.
Yeah, I've not heard of any.
But now I finally have this novel, and I think this is kind of like what everything was supposed to be based off of.
Oh,
because
cool.
I know they talked about it was like stuff his dad had written.
Oh yeah.
But I think this is it. I think this is like the actual stuff that was being hinted at, and it's finally coming out, and I'm really excited.
Oh, that sounds awesome. You have to let me know how it is.
I will.
Maybe I'll pick it up too if it's good.
Fuck yeah, man. My zombie daddy.
Yeah. I picked up all 3 volumes of The Umbrella Academy after finishing season 2 on Netflix in a day. It's like I wasn't going to, and then suddenly I had done it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, like, I was going to be productive today, and then Netflix told me that I wasn't going to be.
I mean, it's not as bad as it used to be to, like, binge a whole show in a day, because, what is it, like 9 episodes, probably?
9 or 10, yeah.
And they're all probably, like, 40 to 45 minutes?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to watch my way through The Walking Dead, and I'll be like, man, this episode's taking forever. And then I'll look, and it's an hour and 12-minute episode.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, AMC, what are you doing to me?
Yeah, right. Oh, shit, no wonder it was taking forever.
It's a whole extra half hour on the average runtime. And so yeah, that happens with The Walking Dead. I'm finally on season 7.
Oh, nice.
It took me so long to slug through that, through the finale of season 6.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, I should say the whole last half of season 6.
Uh-huh.
It was just, I don't know if it was budget constraints, and I don't know if it was following the comic, because I didn't read that far. into the comic. I actually read right before the Saviors kind of showed up.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, it was just, like, so meandering. It was like, we're gonna go kill all the Saviors, and then it's like, we killed them all, and then it's like, oh no, we didn't, no, we killed them all again, oh no, we didn't, but we killed them all again, and then it was like, oh no, they caught somebody, and then it's like, oh, they're playing cat and mouse with us, and it was just like, Jesus Christ, there's no, I don't know, it just, maybe it was the writing, maybe it was just me wanting to get it over with, I don't know what it was, but I did not enjoy the last couple episodes of season 6.
Uh-huh.
Now the last 10 minutes of season 6, I greatly enjoyed when Negan showed up.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty dope.
Yeah,
he is such what? Oh shit! What's his name? What's that actor's name?
I forget. It is
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, that was it.
I love him and like everything he does.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, and he was awesome in Supernatural. Even though he was a shitty dad, he was a great actor.
Yeah.
He played a shitty dad pretty well. Of course, then they retcon it. Of course, that he wasn't a shitty dad, that he was like protecting them and stuff. But you know,
yeah.
Still.
Well, you know what? They did that with Snape too in the Harry Potter series, and I feel like it's not enough though. Like, actually protecting him from the shadows didn't mean that he had to treat them like shit throughout, up until they realized it, you know?
Yeah, like there is a difference between treating someone like fucking garbage and just pretending you don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like an in between. There's Severus Snape. Yeah, but fuck Snape. Fake.
Yeah.
Snape was a terrible human being, and fucking Harry Potter goes and names this kid after him. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's because he sacrificed himself this whole time. It's like, yeah, but he was also being a total shithead to you. Like, I get that he couldn't be like buddy, but also that would be creepy anyways too, because he didn't give a fuck about James. He only cared about Lily.
Yeah, he was like that dude that's just trying to bone your mom forever, and he's just being a total creep about it, and then fuck Severus Snape. I don't.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything any more than anyone else did really to protect Harry Potter.
Right. Yeah.
That's enough. That's enough. We're just gonna rile up the Harry Potter fans, and they're already having a bad enough time right now.
Yeah. Listen, you can still like Harry Potter just because the author says some shitty stuff. Like, it's fine.
Just because the author is a giant, raging piece of crap.
Which is so strange, right? Because, like, a lot of stuff in the Harry Potter books was so forward-thinking.
It's like... this is what drives me crazy about these, like, people who get a platform. Is it's like... they have all these things that they believe in that are things that general population will agree with. It's like, I like puppies, or I'm for feeding children and making sure children go to school and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, they have clothes for school, like stuff like that. Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure I've heard that she does that kind of charitable work, because I know that like she lived in a car with her kids at one point.
Oh, right.
And so I know I've heard that like, she does that kind of charitable work. And instead of like focusing on that and doubling down on that, she's like, oh yeah, and there's this thing I do on the side, and that's what I'm going to make my entire platform about. And that's that I think that women have to be born women physically, genetically.
Right.
You have to be born with a vagina to be a woman. You notice that she doesn't even talk about like what it takes to be born a man.
Yeah, right.
She's just obsessed with like being a woman.
And you know what?
Get out
just
of here.
Because you do something good or contribute to something good doesn't mean that like everything else you do is fine. Like, just, and not to throw an example like Hitler, because that's too easy of a one, and that's too extreme of one. But, like, Larry Nassar, the guy who was molesting all of the Olympic athletes, he, like, contributed or helped with, like, the special needs Olympics. You know, like...
Yeah.
So, like, you can still be an absolute monster and do good stuff. Like...
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about that at length several times, and we did do Hitler last time we talked about it.
Right. Well, it's like, you know, Hitler's just an easy one to do, but it's like, but no one really lately has been, like, accurately like Hitler, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah. I hope that she one day wakes up and is like, wow, I've been wrong for the past however long she's been in this club.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do everything I can to undo the harm I've done to my fans and to trans people around the world. But I don't know. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But it's kind of interesting that we brought that up right before we talk about an LGBTQ movie.
Yeah, which
I guess LGBTQ
did
plus.
not realize it was going to be. So.
Yeah, I didn't know until I started it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, I saw a lot of man butt, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is that kind of movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, you kind of knew in the first minute because that's the movie started with like some gratuitous man bod, like all but slinging dong, which you know what, I'm kind of disappointed, Hulu.
Well, you know what? I think you probably could have seen some dong in that one guy's reflection. I don't think they edited that part out.
In which reflection?
There was someone who saw himself in a reflection of but it was like a picture or like a mirror. Like it wasn't like a mirror.
Oh, okay. It was like in a picture frame. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have caught that since it wasn't like in a mirror. Mirror on the wall. Yeah. So, in a nutshell, well, first of all, what did you think of this movie?
You know, there were definitely things I liked, and then, since I'm not part of the gay community, I couldn't tell if some of the stuff was, over the top and, too, cliche homosexual or stereotypical homosexual stuff, and how much of it was, portrayal. And I don't know anything about the director or the writer of the movie. I don't know if they themselves were homosexual, so maybe it's fine. But some of the stuff I was definitely wondering, I wonder if this is offensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I can't speak to that, obviously.
Right,
but I enjoyed it a lot.
So yeah, I mean, I did enjoy it. Like I said, there was just a couple things that sometimes I was definitely thinking oh, this is a very stereotypical gay person, and I think they even mention it in the movie, which made me think maybe that was intentional to be a parody or something of it.
Yeah, I feel like there was some of that, and then of course well, before we get into too much detail on the movie, Midnight Kiss follows a group of longtime gay best friends and their straight female bestie as they head to a beautiful desert home to celebrate New Year's Eve. One of their annual traditions is to play a game called Midnight Kiss, sexy but ultimately dangerous challenge to find that special someone to help you ring in the new year. As friendships have grown strained with secrets, jealousy, and resentment, the group faces another challenge with a sadistic killer who wants in on the game. Relationships are put to the test, and truths are revealed as the night turns into a fight for survival.
Yeah.
I think that's the longest summary they've had on here.
Yeah, that was a pretty succinct summary, too. So that's, but I'd say, right off the bat, a bunch of gay dudes with a single straight female friend seems very stereotypical.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe that is maybe that is accurate too. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, here I'm so far removed from this whole every character in this story. So there be spoilers ahead.
There be
we'll
spoilers.
Drop that here. Yeah, so like I literally have been to like I've been out to clubs like 4 times, I think. Like actual like clubs.
Oh, okay.
Maybe more. I'm trying to think, but I think it's like 4, maybe 6 times. And these people at minimum have gone once every 7 years.
Yeah, right.
So they've already got me beat there in the amount of clubbing they do. So they are very much. They're a lot more affluent than I've ever been.
Oh, sure.
That's for certain too. So I have no idea like what that lifestyle's like.
Yeah, the one guy's house was like a mansion.
It was fucking dope.
At first, I thought it was like his parents' house, but then like obviously he's too old. But
Yeah.
but not necessarily. But like, so I was a little confused on that. Of like, whose house is this? Is this a rental house? And so I was a little confused on that, admittedly.
Well, at one point
At first.
Yeah, at one point they do. One of the characters, Zachary, I think is his name. Zachary. Zachary goes into a room and he's like, "Oh, Joel's mom."
Right,
like it's her closet. So I guess it was his parents' house.
Okay.
And so maybe they're not as affluent as they act like. I don't know, but they're all like
the guy definitely
doing
says something along the lines of like, "You invite somebody else to my house," so it was like, is this his like childhood house maybe, or is this just like a beach house? Like
yeah.
It was a little on the confusing side, and then
I agree.
not that there's anything wrong with it, but there was a gratuitous amount of nudity and man butt, which is like, in a sense, it's like reminiscent of the classic slasher horror movie, right? Where from the 80s, where it's like constantly tits everywhere. But then it was like it was almost done artfully, so it took away from that a little bit. I thought,
Yeah, they needed to have a scene. If they wanted it to be comedic, like if they wanted it to be parody of the old slasher films, they needed to have a scene of like a dude running with his dick flapping
or something. Yeah, or maybe because it's Hulu, maybe they can't do it or something.
Yeah, I think they try to keep it like maximum TV violence. I don't know. But yeah, that would have been really funny if they'd had a scene of just like a guy running towards the camera with his dick flopping, like being chased by the killer. That would have been really funny. But yeah, I mean they had all your kind of archetypes, I suppose. They have the slutty one, the prudish one, the best friend who doesn't get laid, and the couple.
Yeah.
And so you had all like your cliche. You didn't have your like real like. I guess the Hannah was kind of like the comedic relief character, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely was, because she was like, she would always be like, just like when he goes and is looking for a condom, when Joel is looking for a condom, when Cam's looking for a condom. I'm trying to remember the character. Yeah, so Joel is the one that's engaged to Logan. Dante is Cam's hookup. And Zachary and Ryan are the first two to go. Okay, yeah. I got the names straight. So I guess at the beginning of the movie, we're a half hour in and we haven't even explained the beginning of the movie. They're just showing I couldn't tell if it was a bunch of New Year's flashbacks or if it was just one and they just kept cutting in and out of it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that either, if we're being honest.
Okay. Anyway, so they're showing like them doing these New Year celebrations. So you really have no idea what's going on, but I guess it's kind of to show you
That it is New Year's, I
that
guess?
it's a tradition. Yeah, this New Year's film, and it's a tradition, I guess. And then
Maybe those were New Year's around the world? I don't know. I was a little confused by that, too, honestly.
No, I think it was just supposed to be like several New Year's all kind of at once.
Maybe.
But anyway, then the movie starts out with a bang. There's a guy, Ryan, who is very fit.
I mean, most of the guys in this film were very fit, honestly.
Yeah, I'd say all but like Cameron.
Which again felt very
Cameron and Joel.
Oh yeah,
Cameron and Joel were like the only two who weren't ripped. But yeah, like Ryan was like completely ridiculously ripped. I was like, man, that guy must have starved himself for like 2 weeks before this to make sure he had like 0% body fat.
Right.
And then he lasts like 30 seconds. He's on the phone with somebody, then he jumps in the shower, and then he gets his throat slit. And then whoever slit his throat films him bleeding out in the tub and throwing glitter on him.
He's also got like a pig's mask on. I don't know if that
like a gimp mask though. Like it's like a leather like BDSM.
Right. Which I wish there was a little bit more about that. Which like there kind of was, but not really. And we'll explain. Yeah. I'll explain that when we get to that part of the film.
Yeah. Then there's like a brunch meeting, and there's a lot of drama. Joel and Logan come out that they're engaged. Zachary doesn't show up, but he says he'll meet him at the desert mansion.
You're also getting the feeling that like some of them don't really want to do this, but feel probably obligated to do so or something.
Yeah,
you're not really sure why.
It feels like most characters at this point feel obligated to do it. Honestly, none of them want to do it anymore.
It seems like, from what you can tell, is that just the one guy's just a big control freak, and that's why they don't want to do it. Like, they have a whole schedule planned out and everything.
Yeah, Joel created an itinerary for everyone, and so they're all riding in Joel's car, and it's really awkward, and Joel's kind of like being a dick to everyone.
Yeah.
Then they get to the place, and everyone kind of goes their separate ways and like starts unpacking, like, literally and figuratively.
Right.
And then I don't remember what all happens here, but Zachary eventually shows up, and then he
is very fabulous.
Yeah, he's like one of the most like out there characters. He speaks in like the third person. Mostly,
everyone calls him she, but like it's clearly not like a trans thing. It's just like he's a queen kind of deal.
Yeah. He calls everyone she, and everyone calls him she. And like whenever they're around him, they kind of all like call each other she and her and stuff.
Right. Yeah. It was very over the top.
Yeah. It was. But then Zachary's like, I'm going to take a nap. And I'm like, oh, Zachary's dead.
Yeah, for sure.
So as Zachary like went off by himself, I was like, well, Zachary's dead. And sure enough, Zachary wakes up from the nap, and Zachary is like, I'm going to go raid Joel's mom's closet. Because, I guess, they're familiar. They're like longtime best friends, so I guess that's normal, And so Zachary is like trying on this like big fur coat and drinking from a bottle of champagne, and then Gimp Suit Dude walks in. He sees Gimp Suit Dude in the reflection, and this was the part that was like really weird to me. Because like Zachary was just like super cool with it.
Yes, I know what you mean. It did seem odd.
And so they do imply that these friends all have sex with each other.
That wasn't until like later, I thought, though.
That was later that they reveal that. That was later, but that they revealed that. But at the same time, they also kind of imply that they stopped doing it because it was creating too much emotional baggage to be incestuous.
Right.
So like, so like, I don't know. It's just like, oh, I'm going to have sex with this home invader, potential home invader, or one of my friends. I'm not sure which one. You know? Like,
yeah, for sure. No, it did feel that way.
And so I don't know. It just I don't know. That seemed very unrealistic to me. I don't think anybody's just like, all right, let's just do this. So Gimpsuit Piggy starts choking Zachary, and Zachary's like, oh, okay, yeah, and then like starts choking Zachary really hard, and then Zachary's like, oh, too hard, babe, and then like Gimpsuit starts beating the shit out of Zachary, and nobody hears this. So I like, this is the thing that bothered me the most in this movie. This was my biggest problem with it, is we're never given a good idea of how big this mansion is.
Right. I agree. And
it just seems like it must be fucking massive, because nobody hears or notices this struggle. Not that it's like super loud.
I mean, he breaks a champagne bottle and jags the jagged bit into him.
Exactly, and like throws him against,
makes a big noise for sure,
and throws him against a wall too. Like,
yeah, like how did nobody hear that shit?
Yeah, and so I have no fucking clue how big this place is. There's a moment where I think it was around the same time that Cameron's like snooping around and goes in Joel's office and finds a gun in the desk.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what is this?
Right.
Because he didn't really like look for anything in particular. He just kind of like snooped in the drawer and was like, oh.
Snooping.
Yeah,
but,
like,
also like this is like the 7th time that they've been here or whatever, so it's like it felt even weirder that he was like snooping like that, you know, just to look at stuff.
Like, if they were gonna snoop, if he was snooping, I'd think he would be like looking through like papers, trying to find out like, you know, I assume the reason he's snooping is because he, you know, him and Joel used to go out. Cameron and Joel used to go out.
Yeah.
And it was something to like get information on Joel, what's going on with Joel and Logan. But
right. Which we forgot to mention, Logan is a new addition this year.
Yeah, so Logan is like Joel's fiance that was not part of the friend group, has never gotten to do the midnight kiss. And so,
which honestly immediately had me thinking like he's the killer.
Yeah,
it's like
they tried really hard to make you think it was
Joel or whatever.
Joel.
Yeah, but that was like, there's no way he could have killed the guy in the beginning and then gotten to wherever this place is, because he was in like, they were in some like beachy wherever area.
I don't know. They did. Logan did it.
I suppose so. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Oh shit. Spoiler! Logan's
spoiler
the killer.
Alert. Yeah. I mean, we already said spoiler alert.
I know. Anyway, so yeah, he shoves the champagne bottle. He breaks the champagne bottle and then shoves it down Zachary's throat. I thought the special effect on this was pretty crappy.
Yeah, it wasn't
like
good.
His throat bulged out, but it didn't connect to his chin. Kind of,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It just like bulged out in the middle of his throat, and I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, why would it bulge out right there?
Right, yeah.
It didn't follow like the dynamics of like if you're putting a straight object into somebody's throat, kind of deal. Like, what would happen? He would like get like a frog throat where the whole thing like expands.
Yeah.
But anyway, Zachary gets murdered, and then apparently Zachary didn't have like a lock on his phone or something, because Joel gets a text that says that Zachary left to go to some party he'd been talking about.
Yeah.
And so they're all like, oh, fucking Zachary, he ditched on us. But they're like, okay, let's go do what we were going to do, because it's not suspicious, because that's Zachary.
Right.
They go, and this is one of the most fucked up parts of the movie that really makes you hate Joel.
The cologne bit?
Huh?
He says about the cologne.
The cologne. I didn't like the cologne bit, but I kind of skipped over that, but yeah, there's a point where he forces Logan to have sex with him and tells him to not wear cologne, basically.
Well, he says like, "Oh, you're wearing that cologne I don't like," and then he after they have sex, he's like, "Get cleaned up. Don't put that cologne on again." It was just like,
take a shower and don't
ass.
put on that cologne. Yeah. He's like, it's like Jesus, fucking asshole monster. But no, the part that made me like fucking really hate him is Hannah pulls out a bag of Molly.
Oh yeah.
And everyone gets all excited except for Logan, and Logan's like, "No, I don't want to do Molly," and Joel's like forces it into his mouth,
Yeah,
and I'm just like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah,
but you find out why he wanted Logan fucked up in a minute. But that was just really awful. I was really mad when I saw that. I was like,
yeah, fucked up.
I was like, that's just like next level bad. And so then Cameron sees a guy and he's like, "Oh, that's going to be my midnight kiss." And he abandons Hannah because Hannah was complaining that they never go to any straight bars where she can hook up with anyone.
And he definitely wasn't listening to her at all.
Yeah, he was a real asshole right then, because like he even said like, "Why would I go to a straight bar? What's in it for me?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like, that's cruel."
Yeah.
And so he sees this guy and she's like, "Go get him, Tiger," or whatever. And then he tries to find him. He ends up finding Logan, and Logan's got like two dudes like licking him all over because he's all tripping on Molly. And then he's still looking for Dante, who he doesn't know he's Dante yet, just a guy that was like eyeballing him from across the bar. And then he finds Joel, and Joel's like forcing himself on him, and he's like, "Don't you remember?" And then Cameron's like, "Don't you remember the rules of Midnight Kiss? It has to be somebody outside the group." Joel's like, "I made the rules. I can break them." And Cameron basically tells him he's a piece of fucking shit, and one day Logan's going to wake up and realize that Joel's a piece of fucking shit and hate him. And I was like, "Get on it, tell him."
Yeah, right.
And then Joel looks really angry, and then Cameron finds Dante, and they start dancing and kissing and stuff. And then you see like the gimp suit pig watching dance and kiss and stuff, and they want you to think, "Oh, that's fucking Joel,"
which is really confusing then, because it's like, how did this person bring this mask in without anybody else realizing it?
Exactly. Like, they didn't show any of them with like a big backpack full of gimp suits. So apparently, I'm not very familiar with gay club lines, but every club I've ever been to, on a night, especially like a midnight, New Year's Eve, has lines to get in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they're not gonna let you bring in a fucking backpack. And so, like, I don't know how he snuck this gimp suit in.
Well, it is just a mask, which isn't that big, admittedly, but like, it definitely was a full face mask that would have been.
It's not just a mask. It's a whole, like, leather suit.
No, he didn't have a whole other suit. He just had black on. I'm pretty sure.
Well, still, it's a whole different change of clothes.
Well, that's true, too, yeah.
Than what he was wearing, even if it's not leather. I thought they were leather, but maybe I just didn't notice.
No, I don't think so.
It doesn't matter either way. It's still a whole different change of clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just, like, keeping that in his, like, fanny pack or something. I don't know. He didn't have a fanny pack either. I don't know how he got that outfit in there. Anyway, so that was one of the unrealistic parts of the movie. But that was just to try to like make you think, "Oh, it's Joel."
Well, also, let's be honest too. Nobody else has a mask on. Somebody absolutely would have seen this guy and been like, "What the fuck is this?" You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody had a mask on. So one person, like, I guarantee you, like, even if everyone's on Molly, you're gonna notice somebody with a mask on. I'd imagine. Maybe I'm wrong, but it definitely was like bizarre.
Yeah. So they do the countdown. They kiss, and then Cameron and Dante get separated again, and then everybody goes home. Logan and Joel have a huge fight about him making out with all those dudes.
No, it was about him not being able to find him.
Oh, yeah, he couldn't find him because Joel was mad after the whole... And, of course, the reason he couldn't find him is because Logan was in the gimp suit.
Well, no, because he was making out with these other dudes.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to...
Yeah.
But, yeah, I forgot that he was trying to find him, yeah. Anyway, so...
Because he said something like, I just expect you to respond. It was some shit like that, like... It was basically, in not so many words, when I call, you come, essentially.
Yeah. I think he even might have said that.
I mean, he may have. It was some bullshit, very much controlling, manipulative.
Hyper abusive. Yeah.
Very, very abusive. Which we've seen kind of throughout. Like, we see how controlling he is, even with just, like, the itinerary. Of course, we don't know it as much at that point, but...
Yeah.
You can see
he's just kind of abusive to everybody. I don't know why why people are friends with him.
Yeah, right. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why they felt so indebted to this guy to do this for him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like his parents are obviously rich. Maybe he was just the money.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's possible.
And you know, and then eventually they became real friends after a while of him being the money. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Logan's like, I'm going for a swim. And then they do a pretty good trick here. Is while Logan's swimming, they keep having like the sounds of somebody like creeping around.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, the killer's gonna kill Logan. And then, Logan's like, I'm going for a walk. Don't wait up for me. And then Logan goes, and he's not killed, and you're like, he's not dead yet. And so then Cameron gets a message, and it's Dante. And he's like, come find me. I'm at your house. And it's like,
which I thought that was odd, too.
That was real fucking creepy. And even Cameron admitted it was creepy, and he's like, whatever, man, just fuck me.
Yeah, that was so odd. Like, there was 1 second where you're like, oh shit, maybe Dante was the bad guy, because he like shows up and he doesn't really have a good answer for like how he figured out where they lived.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I never really suspected Logan until like about this point.
I just did mainly because I guess I watch a lot of... I don't know. I just had that feeling that it's like, oh, it's him.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was somebody else outside of the group, and I never even thought about the fact, oh, Logan is outside the group. Right. I didn't connect the fact that they'd each only kind of met Logan once before.
Uh-huh.
I didn't put that, like, I was like, oh, shit, yeah, he's, like... brand spanking new. You know what I mean?
He just seemed, I think a lot of it too was like he was too like perfect in a way. Like he just like went with the abuse too easily and didn't even like say anything about it. Yeah. I don't know. It just definitely felt like, oh yeah, it's him. Now up until the point where we're kind of getting to where so I thought this part was so funny just because like him and Dante and I forget the guy's name already. Are like they're getting hot and heavy, and then he's like, "Oh wait, do you have condoms?" And so it's good to practice safe sex, but he took hours. It felt like to get a condom. Like he was gone for so long. Like there's no way anybody's horny anymore.
I don't know. I mean, they're like in their late 20s still.
I just thought it was just so funny. He's like, oh, hold on, let me go get a condom. And then it was like, he was gone for a long ass time.
I mean, you could tell like Dante was kind of getting bored out there. Yeah. He definitely wasn't in the like, he was like waiting till he heard something, and then he's like, oh, okay, back into sex mode, you know.
Right.
But yeah, it was really funny, and there was a funny scene with Hannah because he ends up getting the condoms from Hannah, and she's like, I don't even fucking know why I brought them.
Yeah.
And here's some lube too. Don't know why I brought that either.
Yeah. Right.
And then Cameron but while this whole super long condom search is happening, Dante is suffocated by a silky looking
something you definitely could have breathed through, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, unless it was like plastic with silk fibers running through the inside of it. I have no idea how he was suffocated by it.
There was like yeah, right. I mean, unless he was like just holding his airway like closed too.
Yeah, I don't know.
But either way, it was like, I think you can breathe through that.
But yeah, so Dante's dead. Cameron comes.
It's oh my god, the guy that did it is like
Joel.
Joel.
They show Joel's face while he does it.
It's Joel who did it, and like this is the first time where I was like, maybe it is Joel, but then he didn't have his like gimp suit on, so I was like, it's probably not him.
I think they even kind of showed you it wasn't him, because at one point, didn't they show the gimp suit guy watching Dante?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they showed the gimp suit guy, or what? Just say Logan. Logan in the gimp suit, watching Dante for a second, and then next thing, and then it cuts back to Cameron looking for condoms, and you're like, oh, Cameron, Dante's about to get killed, and then it cuts back to Dante, and that's when Joel's like suffocating him, but they show Joel's face, and you're like, wait, so he took the gimp mask off? And of course Joel was wearing all black, so try to make it look like it's him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, well, why did he take his mask off? Like, okay. And Cameron comes outside, Dante's gone, and so he starts going, Dante, and he's like, I think my boyfriend's running around naked in here, or whatever he called him. I don't remember what he called him. And so he's like he's going to Hannah, he's going to Joel, and then that's when they find Zachary's body.
Yeah.
And that's when like shit really hits the fan, because like gimp suit guy shows up and chases him. Cameron gets away, and Joel's just like frozen in the room with the dead body for some reason. He's in there for so long,
right?
And it's so weird to me, because he like just murdered somebody, and now he's like freaking out over a dead body. So it's really weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
It's like, how can murder be so easy for you, but not the fact that you're like staring, but like not the fact that you just saw one of your friends dead? I don't know. That's just weird to me.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird for sure.
Anyway, because he's literally like frozen in there for like 5 minutes, because eventually like Hannah finds him in there, and then everybody keeps getting separated all the time, and it's so fucking weird. I'm like, how big is this fucking house? Like, where? Because like at one point, Cameron tries to completely leave, and Logan like gets him to come back.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, and then next thing you know, Logan's just gone, and he's like, oh fuck, where's Logan? And he's like, oh yeah, Joel's still inside, and Hannah.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, Gimp Suit's back. This guy could change clothes like so fast.
Yeah, he must have practiced quite a bit.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, Hannah gets her leg cut. Cameron's like, I know where a gun is. He goes to get the gun, and by this time,
which I have to say, I was happy to see. Like, you know what? If you see a gun, it better go off, right?
Yeah, he was showing some initiative getting the gun, but also like, does this house not have a landline?
Yeah, it must not have.
Because they tried their cell phone once, And so at least they did that much. It wasn't like in Pilgrim, where nobody called the police in the middle of a suburb while people are being murdered.
Oh, right. They do mention what's taking the police so long at the very, very end of the movie.
Yeah. But that's like when they finally do get signal and call the police, which is well after the situation's resolved.
I mean, a lot of places don't have landlines anymore with cell phones.
Yeah. I don't know. I just assumed rich people would, because half the reason people don't have landlines is because they're like, well, I don't want to pay for an extra utility.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. But I mean, some rich people are very prudish, so maybe I don't know. Mm-hmm. Generally, those prudish rich people don't have mansions, though. So just putting that out there.
I don't know. Some of them do.
Yeah. Anyway, so like I said, Cameron tried to find the gun. He couldn't find it. He's like on his way back to Hannah, who's still in the bathroom where after she got cut. And then he sees Joel all tied up, and he's like, "Oh fuck, I gotta save Joel." So he goes start saving Joel, and Joel's like, "Look out behind you!" And then there's Gimp Suit, and then, oh no, he clubs the Gimp Suit guy over the head with like a shovel, right?
Yeah, because he found a shovel earlier.
And instead of like finishing off the Gimp Suit guy,
that's when he cuts Hannah. Actually, yeah, he cuts Hannah in the leg.
Yeah.
And then he hits Gimp Suit in the head. But like that's where you should have fucking ended it.
Yeah. But
that's the biggest mistake everybody makes in a horror movie. Is like,
yeah, it's always
knock him to
mistake.
the ground. And it's like, and that kind of shovel is like a spade shovel too. So like, you know, the edges are fairly like not like sharp like a knife, but I mean they're sharp enough to like penetrate dirt. Like you put that like into his neck or something, and you've killed the assailant.
Yeah, they should have fucked him up, but they didn't. And so, anyway, he finally like reveals himself, and he's like, "I'm Logan. Don't you remember me?" And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh no!" And he's like, "You kissed me back in 1990 or 2013. You kissed me back."
It was like the seventh. Yeah, it was like the first time they had done this.
Yeah, it was like, "You kissed me back in 2013, and I wasn't even out yet, and it didn't even mean anything to you." And so that's why he was killing everyone. And I mean, I know that like being closeted causes trauma, but I'm pretty sure Logan, and I don't know, maybe we'll ask some people who've gone through like being closeted for a long time about it at some point, but like I'm pretty sure Logan was just going to be a serial killer no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think this is just like the situation that he was able to fixate on as a serial killer.
Right.
And who knows, he maybe even killed people before that. But anyway, so they eventually kill Logan. They stab him in the eye with a syringe, and then they shoot him.
What was that syringe? Like, where did that come from? Like,
it was in, you don't remember? So when he's trying to get the gun, Gimp Suit guy shows up, and he's hiding under the desk, and then he sees Gimp Suit guy, like, go through a duffel bag.
Yeah.
And then when Gimp Suit leaves, he goes through the duffel bag, and he finds the syringe in the duffel bag.
I mean, like, what was the syringe? You know,
who knows? Something. Probably like insulin or something.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd been really. It's like, but no, it wasn't anything. I assume it wasn't lethal because eventually he gets shot to death.
Yeah, I mean, after he gets stabbed in like the eye too, it's like, oh, gross.
Yeah. The eye stab was pretty fun. So all this happens, and Dawn comes up, and Cameron and Joel are talking, and Joel's like, "It just shows you never know people, you know?" And Cameron's like, "Yeah, I guess."
Right, yes.
And then Joel's like, "I just, I need you." And then Cameron's like, "Fuck you." He's like, "What was?" Oh yeah, I forgot. Logan kind of threw Joel under the bus, and he basically said that Joel killed Dante.
Right.
I don't remember what he said exactly. But
something about like, "Oh, you've got some rage in you too," some shit like that.
Yeah. And so Joel's like, and so he's like, Cameron's like, what did Logan mean about Dante? And he's like, and Joel's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, what did he mean? He's like, I'm sorry. And then Cameron just like fucking walks away, and then it shows Hannah and Cameron sitting outside waiting for the police, and it kind of ends there.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked it. So I guess out of 10 New Year's bashes, what do you give this?
I'm gonna go with a 7.5 New Year's bashes.
I'm gonna one up you, and I'm gonna go with an 8.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, what was your favorite thing about this one?
Let's see. What was my favorite thing? I mean, like, it was just, some of the kills were pretty good, I thought. Maybe not, like, done very well, but at least they were, like, interesting or funny kills, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes the special effects weren't, like, super good about it, but I don't know. Seeing, like, the syringe in the eye was definitely like, ooh, ouch.
Yeah. You know what? I think the first kill was my favorite part of the movie. Because, like, it started out, like, strong, and it was so creepy because he's, like, filming it and throwing glitter on him.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like, oh, man, that's, like, really creepy. Because it just made it really next level creepy, I thought, with just throwing the glitter on him while he's, like, bleeding out.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, so that was your favorite thing. What was your least favorite thing?
I just felt some of the dialogue was just super, like, unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know, like some of the way that people talking, it just felt too stereotypical, and it was like, nobody talks like that.
Yeah, I would say for me the worst part is upon retrospect, and during the movie it didn't really bother me that much. Nothing really bothered me a lot while I watched it. It's one of those movies where the whole time I'm like, oh, this all works, this all is fine, and then afterwards I'm like, oh, well, there's a hole here and a hole there, you know. But the biggest one is the nightclub that Logan was able to get the GIMP suit on. The GIMP mask or whatever at the nightclub. I'm like, wait, how the fuck did he do that?
Right.
And he had a whole change of clothes, you know, like.
Yeah, no, that was a little bit like, come on.
Yeah, so I'm like, I think that's the number one complaint I have. It's just like that makes such a big plot hole in the, and then I guess also like, so they're claiming that Zachary is an Instagram model.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know any Instagram models personally, but I would assume that they would have a pretty good lock for their phone.
Yeah, I would assume so, because a lot of that stuff, I mean, not necessarily just Instagram, but particularly Instagram, your image is everything, and, you know, he definitely seems the kind of person that would take maybe some scandalous pictures that probably wouldn't look too good if they actually got out and he got in trouble for them.
Yeah, or, you know, just somebody could, like, steal your phone and, like, post a
sure, yeah, or
they could, or that you can even, like, you can completely erase your account on a lot of apps. I don't know if Instagram does that easily.
True. Yeah.
But, you know, you can, like, permanently close accounts.
Right, that's true.
Or they could go through and, like, block all your followers or something. You know, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I just feel like if you're, like, an Instagram model, like, it means your phone is your life, and you'd probably have it pretty secure, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would think so, too.
Okay. I think we've talked about this film enough. I think it's time to move on to
Tales of Dice and Pixels.
Yeah.
All right. You got a tale primed for me?
I do, and it's a fairly recent one, as in, like, yesterday.
All right.
But it's also like a reminiscence of days long past.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
So, as I said before, there's a new game that I've been playing a lot of called Fall Guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed up playing with friends last night till about 4:30 a.m.
Oh my god.
And it's been a long time since I've done that. But like, I remember as a kid, like, we would go over, we'd spend the night at somebody's house, and we would just stay up all night playing, like, video games. And our parents were usually not happy about that, but it was like, what could they do? Because they're tired and they have to go to work, and we're just kids who don't have anything else to do except for play video games.
That's our only job.
Yeah. So, like, that's how much fun I've had with this game, though, is, like, I stayed up till, like, 4:30 in the morning playing.
Yeah, well, you know what? That kind of inspires me to tell a different tale than I was going to tell.
Uh-huh.
So this one would be a tale of dice.
Ooh, okay.
Kind of. So back in 2018, we went to a convention, Liz and I, to meet a bunch of the crew from the Nerds International.
Okay.
And we went there, and we were it was Saturday night. We were all just like partying, and we played a game of Fiasco.
Oh, nice.
And this game got pretty graphic.
Yeah.
Because, as per usual, when I play Fiasco, I get pretty inebriated.
Yeah. Seen that firsthand.
Yeah, several times, and so one of the guys is just like, he said because in Fiasco you have the option of setting a scene or having someone else set a scene at one point in the game. I think that's towards the end of the game. And I was like, okay, I'll let you guys set the scene. And then the one guy's just like, okay, so we pan in and you're fucking a pig.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And so, of course, once that tempo was set, the game got very risque.
No, I can only
very
imagine,
inappropriate. Once that tempo was set, because at that point I'm like, well, if you're gonna do that to me, we're gonna one up each other.
Right? Yeah, sure. Like, oh, I'm fucking taking it. Okay, well, you're next.
I hope you're ready for this, Buster Brown. And so I took that scene very, very inappropriately, and I'm not even gonna speak to what I did in that scene. But anyway, so then that night I think I stayed up. Because that game didn't end till almost 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And then I stayed up another hour or two, just drinking with some of the other guys who were staying up really late. So yeah, my last time probably staying up till 4 in the morning was then. I've done 2 a.m. since then, but 2018 was probably the last time I did like 4 in the morning. And honestly, I don't think I quite made it to 4, but...
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, well, I want to be able to wake up at some point in the morning. But yeah, that was...
I didn't do too bad. I woke up around like 10:30, so like not too bad.
Yeah. Hey, I woke up in time to still have breakfast, so...
Oh, there you go.
I don't remember when their breakfast ends there, but I woke up in time to still get breakfast. But yeah, with all of that said, let's go ahead and go into our contact information. You can email us at Gmail, which is imaginaryramblings@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at podcastir. You can contact us on Facebook and Instagram at Imaginary Ramblings. And if you would please go to our merch store and grab our shirts and our mugs and our...
Yeah.
Just buy anything with our logo on it and take a picture with it, put it on social media, tag us in it.
Or get some stickers and slap them on everything.
Yeah, and well, don't buy stickers because if you do this thing that we're asking, which is to buy our merch, we will send you a sticker and a bumper sticker.
That's true.
So, but I mean, if you want more than one sticker, then buy stickers too. And with all of that said, all I have left to say is bye-bye.
Bye.